All right, boys and gals. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back to the Battlefield Show. My name is JulianJanganoo, and welcome to episode 37 of the Battlefield Show. It's usually a weekly podcast, but since Battlefield 2042 is not fully out yet, we're kind of doing it day by day to see what the topics of discussion are coming up, like the beta. So I decided to bring on a good friend of mine here, Nickel Battlefield. How are you doing, sir? Welcome to the Battlefield Show.
Hello. I'm doing just fine. What about you?
I'm doing great. It's here. It's lunchtime here in sunny California. I know it's nighttime over there, and you're in Germany, correct?
Yeah, and it's pitch black outside. So sorry for the bad lighting, chat.
Yeah, I know. So I wanted to bring you on because, yeah, I mean, we were just talking off screen about you being a trendsetter and, going off into like doing all these cool things for the Battlefield community in the past. I just wanted to get to know you a little bit. I don't know much about you other than your YouTube content. So where'd you get your start real quick? And then we'll hop into ideas of the beta.
Oh boy, where do I start? Well, I'm Nickel. I'm a 24-year-old German competitive Battlefield 4 player. I've been playing 5v5 and 8v8 for quite a while now. 8v8 is something new for me. I started like last year, so I've been playing that for like 1.5 years. I've been doing just fine. I had a great time. When I'm not playing competitive, I upload like locker highlights on YouTube every now and then. Sometimes, very rarely, I do also like guides or commentaries, and I will be doing much more in the future. And yeah, over the years, I developed a big interest for like game design because the previous Battlefield games have been quite a lot of their design decisions have been quite controversial or questionable, at least. So
Right.
yeah.
Cool. So, professional player for Battlefield 4 for a while, and yeah, how was that experience? Are you kind of bummed out that the next games that came out, like BF1 and Battlefield 5, didn't really suit a competitive kind of league or anything? What do you think about that?
Oh yeah. I started tryharding Battlefield 4. And I witnessed like the best moments of the Battlefield franchise in 2015 and 2016. That was such a great time for me, like from going casual to competitive and becoming one of the better infantry players. And after Battlefield 4, and especially after what DICE LA has done on the game, I was convinced they wouldn't do the same mistakes and that the sequels would be much better and that DICE would like learn from their mistakes in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And that competitive would like actually kick off. And the exact opposite happened, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm definitely bummed out. And for 2042, we heard already there is no spectator mode. So
That's gonna be an issue.
pretty bad.
That's gonna be an issue for competitive side of not just in Portal, but Hazard Zones kind of has that competitive thing. We'll be talking about that here in a second. So I heard you got a nice mouse collection as well. I've heard about this.
I definitely do. Yes, I collect a lot of mice. I test a lot of mice and mouse pads. I got really crazy over that in the last few years.
How many do you have in your collection?
Well, I sold some of them, but right now I have probably like 10 or 12.
Damn.
And I tested about 30 or 40 over the last 12 months. I'm always on the search for the best mouse on the market. And it's also like really fun.
What do you look for?
What do
you look for in a mouse?
I think the most important thing in a mouse is the shape, the weight.
Okay. You go for the lighter
coating
side?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
The lighter, the better.
Nice. And what about the what's that stupid thing? The laser indicator. What do you call that thing at the bottom?
The sensor.
The sensor. Yeah. Is it?
I mean, nowadays,
particular, or they're all the same?
Nowadays, pretty much all the sensors are great on gaming mice. Like 95% of the mice have great sensors. There's only very few that have issues.
Okay. And your go-to like mouse pad? Are you like one of the slick boys, or what's going on here?
I'm definitely a slick boy. I'm
Yeah.
using an Artisan Zero. I'm
Okay.
switching between my Zero and Hien all the time. And on Monday, I'm getting 2 more Artisan pads, a Zero Mid and a Hayato Otsu Soft. I'm really, really hyped for them because they seem to be like the best on the market right now.
Well, there you go.
Great hybrid pads.
Oh hell yeah! I might have to get one of those here pretty soon. Okay.
Yeah.
Enough background. I know, Nickel, you didn't want to really cover much about background, but it's great to know you and whatnot. And thank you for coming on, by the way. Okay, let's hop right into it. Let's talk about Hazard Zone. It was just revealed a few days ago. It had a trailer that didn't really explain anything. It was just a spectacle kind of thing for like a couple minutes, and then they released the actual details a few minutes later. So, did you read up on it? What do you think about Hazard Zone just altogether?
Yeah, so the trailer was all right, I guess. It was a cute little trailer.
Yeah.
But my issue is like the release of the game is in like less than 4 weeks. And they don't even show us gameplay again. There were like 3 seconds of gameplay, and you see a dude shooting at nothing. What am I supposed to do with that as a player?
Yeah.
And then they don't even like, I don't know, at least give us some raw gameplay cut up. Show us like the 5 stages. I believe it's like 5 stages, like strategize and equip and so on.
Yep.
Give me like raw gameplay, have fast-paced editing, and show me the game. Show me the game mode. How
Give
it works.
us an example. Hey, dude. Hey, they said in the article you can do it in 5 minutes. Show me a 5-minute round, bro. 5 minutes.
That would be enough.
And
also, like, hello,
a taste.
I don't want to read a wall of text. It's the year 2021. I'm not gonna read like 3 pages of a blog post. Hello?
Yes, but the EA excuse. We gotta. It costs a lot of money. We have to talk to people around the world to organize and to get a recording just like we wanted and whatnot. But like, come on, really, $1 billion industry here. EA, you got all the money in the world. You got all the devices. You got. Come on, 5 minutes. I don't know.
5 minutes would be enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be good. So, right off the bat, like, what do you think? Hazard Zone got potential or what?
I gotta be honest, it was quite underwhelming. I would rather have had a proper BR. I'm not a BR fan even. Like,
Okay,
I don't even care about BRs. But from what I understand, so Hazard Zone is not about killing, but about extracting data drives. And there's not one winner, there's 2 winners. So you can extract twice.
Right.
And you also there's like satellites crashing down with like data drives that you have to collect with your squad. And AI is guarding them. So that's my first issue. I don't want to play against AI. AI was really bad in the beta. Maybe they're gonna fine-tune them. Maybe they're gonna make them better, stronger, like in Tarkov or something like that. But I personally don't care about AI. I don't want to play against AI. Imagine fighting them, and then you run out of ammo, or you're like reloading, and then you get like third-partied by real players.
Dude, yeah, that's the thing. With the TTK and everything for Battlefield, it seems like your squad could get wiped out real quick if you're all like together in one area. One grenade could just wipe you out. But I don't know about this whole calling in kind of feature. Like, I just don't see the pace, and that's why it would have been great to see some sort of gameplay so we get an idea of how fun this might be and whatnot. But yeah, the trailer is just spectacle and showing different specialists, excuse me, and what they can do.
I also keep saying specialist operators all the time.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think there was just one clip I had here. Let me bring that up. I have like a whole list of stuff we can show. I believe it was this image here. This image shows a little bit of that customization kind of like issue that we had in the beta when it comes to who's who. And because even though they're going to have a vast variety of customization at launch, it looks like they've nailed this problem before we even started complaining about it. It seems like we even seen it in the early trailers where enemies had red patches on or red markings for enemies. It looks like they're already onto that, so we'll touch upon that in here in a second. But yeah, overall, Hazard Zone seems like a get in and get out, just like Hunt Showdown kind of thing. But instead of like looking for clues and then hunting for a boss, you're scanning and then finding the boss is basically a downed satellite pod of some sort.
Yeah.
And you get that whatever's in there, right? And it'll be surrounded by AI that are probably guarding it. And then you get that, and then you look for an extraction if you want, or you can just stay and go for another one and get like I'm not even sure how many drives you can get per pod. I'm guessing it's just one. Like I don't know the pacing when it comes to this, but
for that you need gameplay, and we haven't seen any.
Yeah, you get that, and then you extract, and that's pretty much how it goes. I think you get into a vehicle, an air vehicle of some type, and then it shows the end of round screen, which I believe is somewhere around. Yeah, there's these pods here. And then you get the end of round screen, which we didn't have in the beta at all. I was expecting one because they had one in the alphas and the betas for Battlefield 5, but it was kind of just missing here in the beta. Do you like this end of round screen here, Nickel?
I did not like them in Battlefield 1 and 5 because they were kind of ugly and clunky, and they could have done a better job. But this one on screen looks actually fine. I would be fine with that. But if they go with like BF4 style or BF3 style, I don't mind. It's not a big topic for me. I don't care.
Yeah. And so the progression pretty much is you're rewarded with these dark market credits. Kind of hard to say, really. But DMC credits. And from there, you get to spend those on strategizing for your next match, pretty much, in Hazard Zone. So you get like...
There's the next issue. There's already the next issue.
Yeah, so what is that all about? Like, that's it? You just get money and then you spend it on buffs and
from the looks of it, yes.
That's
so
it,
So you get XP for like the main experience, I guess. So you level up and you get like dark DMC coins or whatever they are called, dark market coins. And you can buy like better gear for the next match, which is incredibly unfair when you consider that the other players that are like getting into this for the first time or lost the last game, they're gonna have a huge disadvantage against players like me that are gonna play in a 4-man squad with like competitive players. So to fix that, you need like, I don't know, skill-based matchmaking, leaderboards, ranking, or something like that.
Why do I have that feeling that they're gonna probably put that in? There's definitely gonna be matchmaking. I doubt there's gonna be any type of browser. That wouldn't make any much sense there. But that might be an issue to definitely look forward to, everybody in the chat. So watch out for that when it comes to skill-based matchmaking. Or they can just toss in randoms. We'll see. We'll see what they do with that. But I was expecting a little bit more because there's some comparisons with Tarkov, and they have like a whole market system. They have inventory and whatnot. I'm not really.
Yeah, but Tarkov.
Yeah.
Tarkov is built around this, and Battlefield is not. Right. Battlefield does not have enough weapons, weapon customization, the
RNG.
There's not enough depth.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't see the appeal. Like, I don't know why you should ever play that.
Yeah, there's no appeal to me. There's no... I mean, other than, like, the streaks that they talk about. Maybe I could bring that up here. Something about winning extract streaks. And the more you have the streak, the less things cost to dive back into, the marketplaces now, or to buy equipment and guns is now cheaper the more you extract without dying. So maybe that is the given there. I'm not sure. What do you think about that? Do you think that would be good for longevity?
I don't think so. And now
it's not enough, thing.
What if I don't want to play the objective? What if I just grief players? What if I just What if I just camp extraction zones? And what if I just prevent players that actually play the game
Yes.
from extracting? What if I just kill them and steal their shit and leave?
And look at the design of, let's just say, Orbital. I mean, they're going to have hazard zone on Orbital. There's not much. There's a lot of verticality. So you can see like everything if you get on that roof or whatnot.
Oh boy,
And
don't get me started on verticality.
okay. And there is not much cover. Like, it's not like Hunt Showdown where your view distance is only like a few 100 feet because it's mostly forest and whatnot on that map. You can see people from miles and miles away, even with a sniper rifle and whatnot. See, that's what Hunt Showdown doesn't have. You can't see above that tree line. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. You're just focused on, that's what makes it more immersive there. Here in Battlefield, it's a fucking playground. Like, you can see everything at any time, and you have specialists that can, fly and stuff. I think I had that image there,
Yeah.
where a person's just coming down and murdering people. Let's see, where is that? I made this part into a GIF. Someone made this here. Yeah, you got this going on. You know, you got people flying from every which way and just murdering people.
Yeah,
You can
that
see
reminds me of
more.
Apex actually.
Yeah, you can see more customization, by the way, with the glow sticks, the red and the blue kind of thing going on. So hopefully that'll make it to the regular base game. But yeah, you got random crazy stuff like that as well.
Yeah, but the
Um,
question is are those glow sticks helping during daytime? You won't notice them that much.
yeah, then they got the paint and whatnot. Maybe that will work. I don't know. But I mean, you gave me a great screenshot. Let's just go from. I think we covered everything we want to for Hazard Zone right now. There's really
One
not.
more thing, like
Yeah, go for it.
I'm wondering about the pacing. Like one of the devs, I think the design director said rounds take like 5 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes. So what is this pacing? And it also depends on the map size, I guess. I think Hazard Zone has like 32 players. Like it's
32.
8
Yeah.
squads out of 4 players. And there's maps like Breakaway, which is like twice as large as Orbital.
Yeah.
That's a lot of empty room. That's gonna be boring. When you're
Well,
fighting AI there.
hopefully, I mean, they're gonna give you perks for like calling in vehicles and whatnot, and I think that's how they want you to play. It's very, they're really, trying to propose a way of playing. We were talking about this on the podcast yesterday, going over pacing and why why these maps are so large, and when it comes to action, you're in these cluster kind of battles kind of thing. And I think maybe they're trying to port that over to other game modes and experiences like Hazard Zone when it comes to scanning for these hard drives, and then you have to strategize and call in your vehicle so you get moving, right? Because you don't have a lot of time. These are very big maps, so they'll give you options to have more vehicles spawn in and go from there. So that's one of the, yeah. I don't know if everyone's gonna understand that.
Yeah, the
That's gonna be
thing
the
is,
issue.
that would be nice if actually vehicle call-ins worked in the first place, because they
They have
didn't in the
to.
beta.
No, they didn't.
So that was quite frustrating running from A to B. That took like 2 minutes with text sprint and slide canceling. And yeah, do casual players, like do Battlefield players or Call of Duty players that are coming over, do they want to put up with that? Do they want to
No,
have so much downtime? I don't think so.
no, I don't think so at all. And that's one of the biggest mistakes I've been seeing. I mean, it's not their fault. I mean, this is not explained really well. I wanted to show a clip on there, but I don't know if we could show that maybe later. I was gonna go straight to Hazard Zone onto map sizes and the cluster battles. I wanted to show you a clip from the I think executive producer or design director, excuse me, Daniel Berlin, and he was on a like a roundtable event, kind of a live stream showing off what they did with Conquest. Let's go ahead and take a look at that, and then we'll comment afterwards. Let me get that up here. Here we go. So I think it's round 737. Okay, here we go.
Let's get into the absolute nitty-gritty of things, though. Daniel, big changes to Conquest. As Oscar mentioned, big focus for us in this first section.
Yeah.
But Conquest has had some significant changes to meet this big new scale that we have for 2042.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it is a leap for us, right? And when we go to 128 players, and when you go to a larger play space, you can't just kind of copy what we've done before. We had to also kind of reinvent how we approach level design and how we approach pacing in the game. So what we're doing this time around to really encapsulate still the essence of Battlefield and the pacing that our players know and love is that we're introducing this concept that we're calling clusters. While watching the gameplay reveal, for example, we have this map called Hourglass, which is set in Qatar, which is really, really awesome. And this map really speaks to the new mentality around the level design, I think, and the clustering, because you can almost imagine it as a massive battlefield, but within that massive battlefield, there's almost multiple battles going on. If you go to the western part of this map, you'll find a huge stadium. And within the stadium itself, there's multiple capture points. And if you want to own the entirety of the stadium, that entire sector, you have to actually fight and control all of the capture points within that sector to capture the entirety of the stadium. But then you can, so imagine that you're in there with your squad and you're engaged in a close quarter combat situation and it's quite hectic, and then you manage to win. You capture the objectives in the stadium and go like, okay, whew, now it's a little pause, right? Then you run outside the stadium and you open up your maps and you go like, okay, where do we go next, guys? We see that they're capturing the Neon City on the far end of the map. And then you go like, okay, we got to get there. So you bring up your call-in tablet. You say like, okay, when you're a transport vehicle, I need it over there. It comes down with a parachute, lands in front of you. Your squad hops in, and then you have a traversal as you travel to this other sector, which is a sector full of skyscrapers, where you can zip line between the roofs of the skyscrapers as you fight for multiple skyscrapers.
So there you go. That's pretty much their design decision behind pacing and whatnot. So what do you think about that, Nickel? Do you like that kind of pacing, or?
I mean, if you double
battles?
the player count, you have to change the maps. Obviously, you have to change Conquest. I'm fine with that. I like the cluster system. I like the vehicle call-in system. I mean, it's needed. Would have been nice if that would have worked in the beta again. Like, people got a really bad impression, I think, now, because everyone had to like run around, and that took forever.
Yeah, that was a huge mistake. I seen that even in the beginning of the game. People didn't utilize vehicles. They went from the headquarters and they ran 350 meters to the given flag. And then once they had that, they ran in clusters, like 20 of them. They weren't bots, trust me, they weren't. Then they ran like 250 meters to the big Bravo building. And I don't think that's how DICE intended, but hey, you didn't explain this. There's not vehicles just everywhere. You know, the calling thing barely worked for most times. So It was just a poor representation of what they wanted to do with the whole design situation. So the walking simulator thing came up, you know?
Yeah, that's like a tag sprint simulator. That was quite funny. I had like friends spawning in base because we didn't have enough transport vehicles. Like the helis were gone. They were full. We didn't have enough cars, and when you spawn in the base, there's like no vehicles you can take from the base, like in older games.
Right.
So you would have to tech sprint 2 minutes until the next flag, and it was honestly, that was pain. That was pain.
Yeah, they did mention in that Hourglass map that there would be helicopters and vehicles already spawned in. They mentioned that in this live stream here. We didn't see anything like that in Orbital. I mean, there were some Tesla trucks like kind of scattered here and there, but and some Jeeps, but I couldn't find the Jeeps for the life of me. I don't know where people got those. Maybe at base. I don't know, but there were some hidden like Tesla trucks, just kind of near the rocket, and there just needs to be a little bit more. That's just there already. Because when new players come in, they see a vehicle, they go up to it, they press E. They don't pull up a tablet and then wait and then call in something at the start of the game. No one's gonna do that. They'll be forced to, and we saw that already in the beta that they were forced to do this because they didn't want to walk, right? So they just either redeployed, like someone said in here in chat. I rather just redeploy. You know,
oh, that's something I actually did. There were moments where I would just run out of ammo, or I was on A or F. Like that was like the home flags for Russia and US. And I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna put up with this. Stats don't count anyways. I'm just gonna redeploy. Who cares? That was like the most effective way of rotating around the map.
Yeah, I remember going from I love the clustering at Delta and Charlie. The thing that really kind of bothered me, maybe you noticed a few times, but there's people coming out of the sky like crazy. Not only can you not hear the air vehicles like hovering right above you, like some of them are super silent.
Forget about audio.
You're getting,
it was like playing underwater.
Yeah, you're getting killed from all over the place. Not only is everybody jumping off the roof of Bravo over to Delta, so it's really hard to defend that because there's just people coming from every direction. And you got zip lines coming in from there as well, from the rocket area, so you get flanked really easily. I used that a lot in the beta. That was pretty fun. But yeah, what do you think about all the people jumping just out of everywhere? You like that sandbox kind of feel, or does it need to be, I don't know, separated in some way?
Tough. I don't mind if some maps have verticality and some simply don't. I gotta say, I liked Orbital. I might be the minority, but I think Orbital played like a classic Battlefield map. It's a good sandbox map. It reminded me of like Rogue Transmission from Battlefield 4 and Caspian from Battlefield 3.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could do just whatever, but the flow was a bit off. You had like clusters, like the B point was good, Delta 1 and Delta 2 were fun. I did not like I didn't like Charlie 1 and Charlie 2. They were like
the cryogenic
too far away, and you would have to cap like in the open without much cover, and people would like, enemies would like spawn around you, like on C1, they spawn on the hill and just kill you when you cap. That was terrible.
People made that choice, yeah, because you can see how interconnected both Delta and Bravo is as like clusters. I mean, they should just rename Bravo to Delta 3 basically, because that's where people clustered in anyway. But yeah, you're right. Charlie Group was very out there. You weren't getting people from like the Bravo building spawning over there. You don't get people from main base. I mean, sometimes you'll get people just walking on in there. So the main battle, it feels like its own map down there, by the cryogenic facility. But there's some rounds where it's just taken so quickly. It takes some effort to get back down there. So that pacing can really screw up another team. You're gonna have to utilize vehicles. That's why I keep telling everybody. I wanted to go over what you did with your friend Heeb on one of these battles here. You guys did this. Let me bring it up for you. What the hell is this? Explain yourself, sir. How did this happen?
I apologize. I think I'm guilty. So Heeb is one of the best attack heli pilots in Battlefield 4. And I'm just an infantry guy, obviously. I'm just an infantry guy. I don't have that much experience, but I was gunning for him. So we got into the heli. And the first thing we did was we stopped the transport helis. We just killed them right on the start. And then after that, we just we cleaned up the sky. That was fairly easy.
Okay.
And then we also killed like the ground vehicles and some random players in our team, like the tanks and I think one AA. They like moved up to the enemy home flag and also started base raping. And doesn't matter what came up in the sky, we immediately killed them because I think the base has like no base AA like in previous Battlefield games. So you can just hover there and kill everyone.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah, and even if you get like locked by a stinger, you just disappear by the B1 tower, or you just dodge. And overall, like stingers were not that effective because they were bugged.
How did he dodge? Did they just a flip, or did you notice how he did that? Because a lot of people are saying they're dodging these Stinger missiles. I don't understand what that means.
Yeah, basically, if you like dip down, I believe you dodge already. It's not
It's that
really hard
simple.
to do.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it's really honestly, it's really brain dead. Like the entire air combat is on par with mobile games. It's really sad to see. That's like I think the weakest point of this game.
Oh my god! And this took 5 minutes. This is a hazard zone round. What's going on? Like,
Oh yeah, by the way, for the people that don't even know, if you full cap the enemy team, I think the ticket bleed is like speeding up. It's like the enemy team is like bleeding super hard, so that's why it only took 5 minutes.
so
There's no way you can come back.
There's no way. Okay, did you see this happen often? Capping of all flags, like immediately, like right when it starts? Because I feel like I've seen it a couple times, at least.
Towards the end of the beta, once people figured out how to abuse air vehicles and how to play the game, yes, it happened more often.
Yeah, it's right when people started abusing the air vehicles and just regular vehicles, like just zooming towards the flags. They capped them very fast. I mean, it was almost instantaneously. And it even when I was just like AFK for a second, and I come back, and the round's been going on for a minute, and I can't spawn anywhere. I'm like, whoa! I thought this was a big map. Like, what's going on here? Where's the pacing and you can cap that fast? I guess you can. So
yeah, that's quite frustrating if you like if the enemy team has like the majority of the flags and your squad gets wiped. You don't get to spawn anywhere unless like you have a transport heli leaving the base, which is most
rare.
likely gonna die very soon or very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe 4-man squads are not the best solution for a game mode this big with a scope.
Oh yeah, I was expecting them to raise it to 5, like in
Yeah,
previous
let's
titles.
have 5 or maybe 6. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it makes sense with the 128. I think you could do it, right? And will there be people left out?
Yeah, there's way too many people being left out.
Yeah.
And yeah, never mind.
That might be an issue. Okay. Anyway, so let's move on here. So we went to the map sizes and how DICE explained it via that live stream there. So let's get into this whole specialist versus class system. It's a big one. I know. A lot of people are saying, fuck the specialists. We don't want them. Get them out. Give us back class system. What side are you on, Nickel?
I hate specialists. That they could have done a better job at including them. I understand why EA wants to have them in the game. Obviously they want to monetize the shit out of them.
Yes.
I don't mind that. And if DICE is being forced to do so, that's fine. But what did the design team like do? They could have done a better job at that. For example, have different specialists for different factions. It's that simple.
Yeah, I mean, well, they only had 10, right?
And yeah, so for launch we have 10, and then every season we get one more. So we're gonna have by next year 14. And if the game doesn't get cancelled before that, we might get 18 or 20.
Yeah, and so will that be enough different specialists there to lock them behind the specific factions?
I mean, they could just duplicate McKay and give him, have a Russian McKay and a American McKay. I saw a post on Reddit with like different uniforms, and one would have like a Russian name, the other one would have an American name. That was quite funny. That could have worked. And they can still monetize them. Give just both McKay's different skins that you can use.
Like, yeah, so you want to lock the skins, right, to the factions?
Yeah.
Okay. That, I mean, if they weren't thinking about that, before the criticisms, that might be pretty hard to do, no?
True. But there's also so many more things. It's not just
it's not just that. Okay.
It's not just the visibility thing with, I cannot differentiate between both McKays in close quarter combat. And the UI was an issue. Like the blue dot above the players is too small up close.
Right.
And sometimes even if you hover over a teammate, the name wouldn't appear or it would have a delay. Sometimes the icons would not appear at all. There were moments where I would like shoot the teammates with no icons, and that icon would like load in 1 second later. If they're behind cover, your own teammates behind the wall or something like that, and you see them like using the parachute, there's also no icon. So you don't know if that's a enemy that just opened a parachute, just landed or something like that, coming around the corner.
I have a
or is
perfect
it the
clip
teammate?
here. I have a perfect clip here. One of my friends, Hot Sauce, who went into a crowd, and there was smoke in the area because the AI was throwing smoke and whatnot. Here, check this out. Maybe you guys can see this.
Dude, I wish we had smoke.
I know, right? Can you guys see this all right? Hope so. But yeah, you can see like the
Oh my
dots are going in and out of the smoke there. I'll replay here in a second.
Oh boy, yeah.
Yeah, it was a little gnarly. See, like, there's no blue dots at all. The smoke completely covers them, so you have no idea what's going on. It's just, and then they pop back in. That's going to be an issue. That's a huge issue.
That's so easy to fix.
Yeah, so hopefully they have already done something like that and addressed that issue. They have said that they are looking at it. So we see some hints already in the Hazard Zone trailer of, you know, markings and stuff like that. Hope that's not just it, right? I hope they kind of go a little bit forward, but maybe they won't because they just don't have time to change up all that kind of stuff. And, you know, that's their own fault, you know.
The thing with the specialists is the game is releasing in like less than 4 weeks. They created already all the skins that they want to sell. I think there are already like skin bundles part of the Ultimate Edition, which they already sold. So they can just backpedal and remove specialists from the main game. Like that's not an option.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate.
Wait, did you say they changed the skin? They changed the skins, right, for the Ultimate Edition? Like they look different.
Yeah, what we got before that was like concept art, and now we got like proper renders of the final skins. They look very similar. I don't care about that. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
But all of that, okay, we're like running in circles now. Let's talk about the main issues with specialists.
Yeah.
So they get access to all the weapons, which is already a problem because people like I don't think anyone has touched upon this yet. But since every specialist has access to every gun in the game, like you can be Casper and you can get a shotgun, a DMR, a sniper, you can get an AR, LMG, doesn't matter. And the same for Falk. Everyone can play any gun. So the issue with that is the gun balance is made with that in mind. So sniper rifles have a lot of bullet drop, very slow muzzle velocity. DMRs kind of suck. They're kind of inaccurate. They feel like BF4 DMRs again. Not as snappy like the BF5 ones. And take a look at the rocket launchers. You only get 3 rockets, and Battlefield 4 you get 6. When you take them out, there's a really long deploy time. When you ADS, when you zoom in, it takes forever.
Yep.
The velocity is super slow. The gun balance is like really janky, clunky. It's not as snappy as the last 2 games. And that's simply because of the specialist. Because if you make sniper rifles lethal like in the last game, if you make DMRs lethal like in the last games, everyone is gonna play them 24/7 on massive open maps, and that's simply what's gonna happen with a game that looks like that.
Yeah, I'm putting up a clip here of you playing on a 240 hertz Battlefield server.
Oh yeah, I think you're misunderstanding that.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the refresh rate of my monitor. That's the refresh rate of my monitor.
I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
The hard cap in BF4 is 144 hertz.
144.
And, there's a lot of issues if you go like above 60. So for all the people that don't know, I think Battlefield 4 started out with like 10 hertz or 30. Then during the life cycle, DICE-LA upgraded the netcode and made it much better.
Mm-hmm.
Still problematic many years later, but we got like 60 hertz for the core game, and there's like also like optional 75 hertz, 120, and 144. But what people don't understand is if you go above 60, vehicle physics break. So your TV missile in the attack helicopter starts flickering. You lose control over it. Sometimes it glitches below the map. Heli input gets, I think, faster or slower. I don't remember the exact details. Vehicle sensitivities change for pretty much all vehicles, also for jets. Infantry is also impacted by this. Like weapon switching gets faster, which is nice for like stabilized jump shots in Battlefield 4. It's nice. But walking upstairs becomes incredibly hard in this game. So if you play on 120 Hertz, play locker, and there's some stairs where you literally get stuck. I don't know what that is. Nobody knows. Some dice magic. But you literally walk them up at like half the speed, or like 1/3 of the speed. So if you play on a high tick rate server in BF4, avoid stairs at all costs.
So in comparison, from the Battlefield 4 tick rates, let's talk about the 2042 beta tick rate. I heard it was at 45. Is that true?
Yes, and 45 is not that bad when you consider you play with 128 players.
Okay.
I was quite surprised it was that high. I expected like 10 or 30.
Oh shit!
And
yeah,
even
a
if
lot
you
of
like
people were.
compare it to the competition, like Apex and Modern Warfare, I think those servers, I mean, they have also that many players, like roughly. Their servers run at like 20 hertz, I believe. And that's pretty bad.
Wow.
So 45 is decent. Was the hit rate decent in the beta? No. But I guess they're gonna improve it.
Well, they better.
And,
I hope so.
They better do. There was a lot of dusting and trade
Dusting.
kills. Or trade killing was so bad, I forgot about that
There was
already.
a lot. Yeah, I noticed that. What's a good way to start fixing that? Because I believe in a few other games, like trade killing just wasn't possible. What do you think about the whole trade killing thing?
Yeah, Battlefield 4 had the same issue. There was a lot of trade killing.
Yeah.
But sometime down the line, DICE just decided within like 30 meters.
Oh.
That might be wrong, but I think within 30 meters, there is always one winner. And the second person that was like slower, like just a few milliseconds of frame slower, that person would like start dusting on the enemy player on their screen, and they would just die. And that's a issue that you really see in BF4 when you play on a high level against the best infantry players. There's a lot of dusting if you go frame by frame, and it's really frustrating because that wouldn't happen on LAN.
No.
And I spent now like 2 years playing against Americans and Brazilian players, and I'm from Europe, so that's
gonna be
a lot of
frustrating.
pain involved. Yeah, it's really frustrating because simply of the Pika's advantage. And I was like watching Brazilian VODs of some insane Brazilian players. They're really good. And I was doing like a side-by-side comparison between me and them. Like I would compare the footage. And I would like use the timer as like a scale. And they would like come around the corner, kill me and my squad mate.
Yep.
Super quickly with like 1 frame to the head. And in real time on my screen, they're just coming around the corner and I just started reacting. And it's already too late. And I'm like reacting, shooting back with super fast aim. But I still die because he killed me on his screen. And on my screen, it's just dusting. Yeah, that's frustrating. And we saw something similar with 2042 now.
Yeah. I wanted to show you some other stuff here. When you started trying the closed alpha for Battlefield 5, that wasn't that different. Can you make any comparisons between the Battlefield 5 closed alpha and 2042? Like, just in terms of like gunplay, snappiness, hell, even visuals, really. Do you remember that?
Well, the alpha was... Well, we played that a lot sooner than the beta. I think it was June or something like that.
It was,
like late June. And I gotta say, the Battlefield 5 alpha and beta were much better from a technical standpoint. Like, the performance was better. Like, I played on a very bad rig, but the performance was better. Mouse input was better.
Yeah.
My mouse didn't disconnect, unlike in 2042. That happened a lot. The game was running on 60 hertz, I think. So that's better, obviously, again. Yeah, Battlefield 5, the alpha and the beta, they were not that bad. It was quite responsive.
And they
Not
started
sure what I
they started
can
to
I say
dumb
there.
down. Yeah, they started to dumb down things afterwards. Recoil patterns were changed. I think they were fixed at this point.
Gunplay
Gunplay
was completely ruined after the alpha and the beta.
Yeah.
And then they had another 2 patches which pretty much killed it. I had like friends playtest the game behind the scenes, and BF5 early gunplay was very similar to BF3, and everyone loved it. For the beta, they increased the recoil quite a bit, and it was like alright. It was okay before they did the TTK shift. It was like okay, like I said, it was alright. But the TTK shift, it didn't make any sense.
Nope.
I'm not surprised that the guy who allowed this to happen got fired afterwards. So it doesn't make any sense from any point of view. So the issue behind the scenes was people were rage quitting the game a lot. They had like data on that.
Yeah.
And the design director was like, okay, that must be because of the gunplay. People are dying too quick. That's the issue. Even though practically everyone, doesn't matter if you were a casual player, competitive player, veteran, newcomer, coming from Call of Duty or coming from the other games, everyone loved the time to kill. It was perfect. And the person in charge who pushed for those changes said, yeah, the time to kill is too quick. Let's just increase the BTK by like 1 or 2 bullets. And it turned into a hit marker fest. The gap between high RPM and slow RPM guns in terms of time to kill.
Like the FG42. What was that, 12
Yeah.
bullets to kill?
The gap got even larger, so everyone was just playing high RPM guns.
Yeah,
and then you had a monstrosity like the FG42, which needed at long range like I don't remember, it's like 6 bullets. In Firestorm it was like 12 or 13 bullets when you have only 20 rounds in the mag. There was a hardcore scenario where the Thompson needed 39 bullets in Firestorm for a target that is 75 meters away. When you consider that when the target is like 200 HP or 300 HP or something like that. That's ridiculous. That's a joke. Like 39 bullets at like the worst case scenario in Firestorm. Can you imagine that?
I didn't, because I didn't play that stupid Firestorm, man. They never updated that damn thing. And I was hoping maybe like Hazard Zone would be a part 2 to that, or like some sort of weird offshoot of a BR, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. But anyway, I'm just trying to make comparisons between Battlefield 5 Alpha and what we see now in the beta. Do you think it's somewhat similar?
Comparing BF5 and 2042?
Yes, the alpha of BF5. Is it similar? TTK wise? Was it faster in BF5? You think,
the time to kill is, I think, slower right now in 2042.
Okay.
Up close, it's decent. I think you need like 4 to 7 bullets with ARs, which is already too slow. It should never be more than 4 to 6 bullets. So you had a damage drop of to 7 bullets, sometimes 8. And if you wear armor, it could be 9 bullets or 10 even at range. And that's an issue because previously, well, in this game, you have recoil and spread. And since the maps are a lot larger and people hate weapon spread, we have very little spread. And if you have very little recoil, because of consoles, if you have very little spread, how do you balance time to kill at range? You decrease the damage at range, and now you get a hit marker fest. And yeah, it's kind of annoying. I don't like it. The gunplay for this game is good enough, in my opinion. Could be better. I think it shouldn't be that many. You shouldn't need that many bullets at range. They should increase recoil by quite a bit, and incentivize burst fire and tap fire again, like in the older games.
Right? Can't you kind of do that in 2042 already? The burst fire. Someone said that you can do that. I don't know if that's
kind of, but the best results I got were just mag dump your M5 assault rifle. Had like no recoil. It had like half the recoil of the AK-24.
Yeah, even depending on the bullets you use too.
Yeah, and I wasn't really burst firing that gun. I was just mag dumping because the spread was that low. And there was not much to fight against. It's a bit shallow. Feels like Warzone. I don't like it. I would like to have a little bit deeper gunplay. I think Battlefield 5 did 95% of the gunplay right. And those 5% unfortunately ruined it. And that was spread to recoil conversion.
Yeah.
Which made
which was not in the alpha, right? That was not in the alpha.
I think it was very little, so it was not as obnoxious like in later iterations of the game. For all those people that don't know or don't understand Battlefield 5 gunplay and why it's so bad, you have 3 layers of recoil which you cannot predict or control. You have regular recoil, which is like vertical, and you have like which you can control by pulling down the mouse, and you have like horizontal recoil, which is random. And in previous games like Battlefield 4, both horizontal recoil values, they were uneven. There was one value that was higher than the other one, so you could like there was like a recoil drift. You could like pull down the mouse. You could like pull down the mouse to the left or to the right to compensate for the drift. That's fine. Then Battlefield 5 added a recoil pattern on top of that, which was slightly randomized. And I think that was done to like prevent macro abuse or some cheats, I believe, which is also fine. But then there was another layer, and that was spread to recoil conversion on top of that. So the longer you fire your weapon, the more spread you accumulate, and your gun gets inaccurate because, well, it's a somewhat realistic mechanic. The developers want you to like burst fire and tap fire with the guns. You don't want to beam people with high RPM guns at any range.
Right.
Which is nice. But people didn't really understand that in Battlefield 1, especially all those Call of Duty players coming over. Like they mag dump their gun, they expect like no recoil, no spread, and they're missing. Like the bullets are going over all over the place. So they did. The designers did a pretty bad job at like explaining that mechanic, and a lot of YouTubers also got that mechanic wrong and spread a lot of misinformation about that. Like random bullet deviation is impossible to control. That's bogus. That's nonsense. You can control it. It's super easy to crawl. It's just another layer. I mean, Counter-Strike has it, just like Battlefield 4. And it's considered to be like the peak of FPS game. So yeah, back to Battlefield 5. They converted this spread to random recoil, and it's like a third layer. And spread is like a cone around your crosshair, so so your bullet is landing like on top, below, on the left, on the right. And your crosshair, like your iron sights or your optic, they would like follow that path, and your recoil would be like with all those 3 layers combined. And since it's following like the path of the spread, your recoil would just go all over the place, and it's humanly impossible to counter. So you can pull down to the you can pull down to the left or right, but sometimes your recoil would like go up to the right. The next bullet goes down to the left, then again down to the right, up to the right, and so on. And every bullet is different, and your gun is just shaking the longer you fire.
Right.
And it's really intuitive for new players. Like they get it finally. Yeah, I'm missing because I'm firing for too long. But for us good players or above average players, what we did in the other games, there's a player like running across the screen, and I would like track him, control the recoil, and it would just mag dump. And obviously some shots would miss because of the spread. But since my crosshair was like still on the target, I would hit some shots. But in Battlefield 5, it's really hard to track a target when you're like mag dumping. And you aim, like your gun is just shaking. It's really hard to track, and it like prevents you from staying on target, and it's super frustrating for the good players. So that's why it was a bad system. And all they had to do is copy BF5 gunplay, and there was like one line in the code of the game where you could like literally toggle this on or off this one mechanic, and it's like toggled off for the new game now. But all the other values are all over the place right now. It's kind of dumb.
So in 2042, are they going in the right direction when it comes to? I know there's recoil changes and whatnot.
The fundamentals? The
Fundamentals.
fundamentals are there. Yeah. So you have again recoil. You have normal spread. There's no more conversion. Your aim is like on the center again.
Oh,
In the last
yeah,
game they like decoupled it. I remember Enders like flaming about this 24/7.
Yes, I know. It's
It's quite
imprinted in my
funny.
brain now. That's bad. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So that's gone then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's gone.
That's good. That's good. Right direction.
Now the
already.
issue is it takes way too many bullets at range.
Okay.
The recoil is too low. They need to find a way to incentivize burst fire and tap fire. DMRs and snipers need to be buffed. Gunplay needs to be overall a bit snappier.
Okay.
And
what do you think about the console recoil adjustments that were made?
That is fair.
Okay.
I can see some issues with that when you play against good console players because let's say you have the AEK in Battlefield 4 and it has a quite high first shot recoil multiplier and a lot of random recoil. Your engagement range or like your effective range is limited. Where you can like one frame or this kill a player really quick. And if you like half the recoil or you reduce the recoil by like 1/3 or like 1/4, console players will be able to beam you at longer ranges. And PC players, doesn't matter how good they are, they won't be able to. That's a problem.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen and from what I've experienced in the beta, console players were not a problem because aim assist was weak.
Mm-hmm.
And if they get like a little bit of recoil reduction, I don't mind that.
You
My
think
issue is just
you think they'll touch that aim assist or what?
I think they will adjust it. I think they will make it a bit stronger.
I think yeah.
The beta had a very fucked up mouse and controller input.
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick, just so people understand what others were talking about. So apparently, a user got into Kovacs, I believe, and then did the whole 180 turn, right? And then did that same kind of option in the beta, but was getting randomized results. Can you maybe explain that a little bit more to the audience about that? And I heard they fixed it.
Yes, they did. And the fact that this made it into the beta is just beyond my understanding. How did not one of those playtesters catch that? Who the hell is playtesting behind the scenes? And I think this technical issue has hurt the game quite a bit. Like it has hurt the reputation a lot. So for people that don't understand it, on PC, first of all the sliders in game, they were really off. And even if you typed in your Zens in the config, it would be still off. And when I jumped in, I would like use a random sensitivity that felt just right for me. And something I noticed was my aim was like really floaty. It was like inaccurate. Something was not right. Like I know my aim, I know what I can do. Right. And I was always a bit off. And it turns out everyone on PC was playing with like mouse acceleration, which was forced on and you couldn't turn it off. This is just insane. So basically, PC mouse input was emulating controller stick aim. And then there was another issue that I had. Every time I booted up the game and played my first match, like a few minutes in, I would lose the mouse and controller, mouse and keyboard input for like 15 seconds and I couldn't do anything.
Yes, I got that issue too.
Nice. So I'm not the only one. Yeah, apparently they fixed the mouse issue already. I contacted a DICE dev like today, I think, about the disconnect, and he told me it's been fixed as well. So that's good to hear.
Nice.
I don't know enough about console, but I heard they had some sensitivity issues as well, and aim assist was fucked up.
Oh, so it's like, it wasn't even working as intended because they said
nothing was.
They said that the snap aim assist was in the 2042 beta. Did you hear anything about that?
I didn't hear anything about that. I'm a PC player. I don't know.
All right. I don't know if anybody in the chat knew about that or played the open beta on in 2042 with the aim snap assist. Was that still there? Let me know. Also, I just want to thank everybody coming out in the chat here. Thanks for watching along. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you, Harp, for all the gifted subs. Wow. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, Kill Logic, Bateman, Proto. I mean, you probably know some of these people here, Nickel.
Even I got one. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, appreciate that, dude, a lot. So we talked about the specialist in class system. We talked about the hertz in in sensitivity and stuff in the beta. Okay, let's just get into the nitty gritty here. Just like Part Welsh said in that video. Vehicles. Let's talk about some vehicles here. I know you went on that crazy run with Hebe.
Yep.
And helicopters and whatnot, and you're mostly an infantry player. I've learned. So, did you try any vehicles? What do you think about the vehicle gameplay? You can start with tanks if you try tanks.
I stole some tanks and have driven them for a while. Yeah, about vehicles, I think vehicles are the biggest weak point of Battlefield 2042. It seems like they didn't learn anything about the past games and they just threw everything out.
That's not
vehicles,
good
especially air vehicles. They're very close to mobile game physics and balance.
That's not good.
In Battlefield 4, vehicles were balanced around the top 1%. And in this game, vehicles are like air vehicles, at least. They're not even balanced around the top 50%, like the average player. I think they're literally balanced around the bottom 1%. That creates so many issues because, first of all, it doesn't matter how much you dump down an air vehicle. You still need to invest a little bit of time to fly them. And something I've seen in the beta was I get into a transport heli or a scout, and our pilot just crashes in the base with all players inside, even though DICE dumped it down that much. So it didn't help at all. And those people still die after like 5 or 10 seconds if they get into action. But with the difference now that the easy weapons that you get in a helicopter or tank are like super strong. So what we get are not Battlefield vehicles as we know, but we get Call of Duty kill streaks that you take from spawn, you fly in, you fire your rocket pods, you kill 10 people, and you're immediately dead because those people don't have spatial awareness, they just crash into the ground, they don't know how to dodge and so on.
Right.
So for those players that play like that, I'm not sure if that's really rewarding or fun to play. It's incredibly annoying for infantry. And now think about the average player. Think about the above average player. And now think about the players that are like the top 1%. Those top 1% players in previous games, they would go like 100 or better.
Mm-hmm.
And that was an issue. That was definitely an issue. And I think it's an issue because Battlefield 4 is like an 8-year-old game. There's not that many servers anymore. So you run into those tryhards more often than not. In a new game, that's not going to happen as much. And with bigger maps, there's definitely... I was hoping like if they port like BF4 mechanics over, and with bigger maps, there would be like more space to breathe for infantry. Like I could... Okay, there's like one attack helicopter on the other team, and I can just avoid him because there's so much space. And if they improved like anti-tank and AA gadgets a little bit more, like make the throw one-hit scout helis, let us do 90 damage to attack helis with the throw and so on. That could have been nice. But
the rocket launcher you're talking about, right? The rocket launcher.
Yeah, the throw is a laser-guided, very skill-based rocket launcher.
Oh yeah, the one that's on a tether, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that they could have done that, and with the current vehicle implementation, so all the players that went 100 in the previous games, they're gonna go 200 300. They were gonna... 2 players are enough to kill the server now, and that shouldn't be a thing. 2 players shouldn't be capable of farming 64 players all over again, and the other 62 in your team don't have anything to do.
Yeah.
So they definitely have to balance vehicles around the top 1%. And then one common argument is, but it's a casual game and it has to be easy to pick up with and everyone should be able to fly them. No.
No.
For infantry, yes.
Couldn't.
For vehicles, it doesn't make any sense because there's very few vehicles available on the battlefield. There's like, I don't know, there were like 2 tanks or 2 AAs together. So you don't get many. There's very few people that get into them. And 95% of the community play infantry only. I have seen the stats from DICE.
Yep. I believe that.
Yeah, everyone plays Infi. And now with Call of Duty, Apex, and all the other players coming over, they're gonna keep playing Infi. They don't give a shit about vehicles. They just don't want to. They don't want to be killed by them. If you remove vehicles right now, you're gonna sell more copies, and more players will keep playing. But that shouldn't be the case. It's obviously a Battlefield game.
Right.
So balance them around the best players. Invite them in. The new team at DICE clearly doesn't know about all the issues that we're fixing before. They didn't learn anything from that.
Right.
Yeah, what is there to say?
Yeah, it's a pretty big issue. I know we covered a lot. The movement for helicopters are very odd to me. I brought this up in a previous program. What is up with the swaying and what? I never seen helicopter physics like that in all of the previous titles. It's very odd looking. But
the flight controls are all over the place.
Yeah,
and
good
when
players,
you like move from the left, when
right.
you move from to the left or to the right,
it's like
you accelerate way too quick.
Yeah, it's like a weird swaying.
You're moving like a UFO all the time.
Yes. Yeah.
And the same with jets. There are no proper physics in place.
Yeah.
And sometimes.
Quick thing before I forget. Do you know the view distance of vehicles and how they're all laggy and stuff?
Yeah.
Is that something that they can fix?
I think that's something. I think that has something to do with the netcode. Like, there's not enough. There's not enough.
There's no updates.
Packages. There's not enough packages or updates being sent to the server, so it updates like every second, and you see like jets literally teleporting, like those UFO videos that you see on YouTube. That's a problem. I hope they fix that. Flight mechanics.
I never seen that in other titles. I don't know. Maybe like if you do super far distance, you can see them teleporting and whatnot, but not within,
Yeah, I didn't see that. Same thing. I didn't see that. That seems like a very big problem right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, with those mechanics right now, you're not really flying something. You're just taking a gun up or a kill streak, as you know from Call of Duty. Yep. You just kill people with it. You spam lock-ons, and that's it. There's nothing to it. And I feel really bad for the vehicle players because over the last 2 years, I met like honestly the best tankers, jet pilots, and heli pilots in the game. I have so much respect for them. There is so much depth in BF4 that people don't even know about.
Yeah.
You can like, with an attack heli, you can like, there's so much teamwork involved. You can like seat switch. There's ammo management. And you can air wrap. You can unspot by changing seats in the heli. On tanks, there's like glitch shots where you can like headshot tanks from the front and you do like 55 damage and disable them.
Can you do
There's
any of
so
those
much to it.
In 2042?
No, it's all gone. It's all gone.
That's terrible.
In BF4, you can walk up behind a tank and shoot 2 RPGs in the back and the tank is gone. One shot and you disable the tank and you do 55 damage or something like that. In 2042, there are no multipliers.
No, I don't know.
I was with a friend. I was with a friend behind the tank. We're like, okay, 3, 2, 1, go. When we fire our Carl Gustav or whatever it's called, we did like 60 damage together. What is that?
I don't. Oh, at least there's no the ricochets, right?
Yeah, at least no ricochets.
That's good, but that was the Carl Gustav, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing was a beast in Bad Company too. You ever play Bad Company?
No, I only played all the games from BF3. I didn't touch the older ones. I heard about Bad Company didn't have like A and D strafing, like going to the left or to the right. I was like, okay, I'm not touching that. Sorry.
So back to 2042 vehicle mechanics here. What do you think about? I mean, maybe this is not a vehicle mechanic, but what do you think about the seat switching kind of exploit that's going on, specifically on orbital map.
I am totally fine with that.
Totally fine with that. Okay.
I'm totally fine with that in BF4. Like, good players change seats in attack heli. One has like a fire extinguisher, and the other one has the ECM jammer.
Mm-hmm.
And when that heli gets hit by something hard, like a TV missile, they get like disabled and they start burning, and the heli is about to crash. The pilot jumps out of the heli for a split second, and the other one presses like F1 and gets in the first seat with a fire extinguisher. And he puts out the fire and replenishes like 30 HP or something like that. And the other one takes the other seat, and then they switch again in the air. Top players do that. There's a lot of skill involved in that. I don't mind that, and if like two good heli crews fight against each other, they do that all the time. And in that time frame, when the other one is like seat switching, repairing, the other pilot has only to hit like 1 or 2 pods, and the heli is dead. And good pilots can do that easily.
Mm-hmm.
Against casual players, that's kind of unfair. But I think that's a good thing. It's a great sandbox element, and you can also like jump out of the heli, on top of the heli, and repair mid-air for a split second.
I saw that.
For like last second repair. Yeah, my teammate Heap popularized that thing.
Yeah, and there was also the what do you call those Ospreys? You can like turn them to the side, get out, and like you can just walk on them, start doing repairs, start doing whatever you want, like shooting other aircraft.
That's a bit
down.
Weird though.
It's very odd. I haven't seen that before. Or
there's
just
some
getting
really,
out of vehicles is weird.
There's some really weird balancing going on. So I think the Americans get like this futuristic Osprey that can fly like a jet. And I heard it was even better dogfighting than the actual jets.
What the fuck?
And the Russians get the Super Hind, I believe. That's like this massive transport attack helicopter hybrid. And the issue with that is the Russian helicopter is really slow. There's like no dogfight mode or super speed mode.
Yeah, there's no. Yeah.
And the Americans would use this Osprey and reach all flags much quicker than the other ones.
Wait, do they have the same? Oh wait, okay, hold on. Forget that. Forget what I said. Oh, that's a good point. You're telling me the Russians can't get to the B flag before the Americans can? Americans can always reach it first?
The Russians are on the better side. I believe the Russians are closer to the B flag.
Okay.
But the Americans get a quicker transport helicopter, which is kind of unfair. I'm not sure if you would time it. You could probably check out and see who's quicker. But I see this as a balance issues when the Americans can reach all vital flags before the Russians even get there in any.
That is a very interesting thing. Maybe that. Do you think you noticed that on your 5-minute run of how they capped the bases, or that was just
to be fair, they didn't get that far in the first place.
Okay.
And, something we didn't touch upon is in the beta we played with default loadouts. There's gonna be thermal vision. There's gonna be tow missiles. There's gonna be TV missiles. There's gonna be a lot of crazy shit.
Yes, I'm worried about jets, man. When it comes to like bombs, because I was very happy that I didn't get carpet bombed by jets in Orbital.
I don't think I got killed once by jets. That's how bad they were.
Yeah, absolutely.
I played 30 hours and I didn't die once to a jet.
But I felt good about that, Nickel. Like I was like, man, this is great. Because, but I mean, it's not
an issue. It's not an issue in Battlefield 4. It's an issue in the newer games, Battlefield 1 and 5, because they're kind of brain dead, and there's like those bombers that kill like 20 people. You don't add that into an arcade casual game. There's just too many people suffering on the receiving end, sorry. And in Battlefield 4, jets are actually, in my opinion, too weak even. In 8v8, the best dogfighters in the world, when we have like stealth jets up, they're dogfighting. And after the dogfight, they would usually jet ram the tank. Because that's the most effective way of killing the tank.
Hell yeah.
You laser guided missiles do like 30 damage. The tank is like APSing. The driver gets out and is repairing again and gets in and gets behind cover. And by the time you do your second strafe, the tank is already inside a building, using his APS, or you're getting throttled. So stealth jets just suck in Battlefield 4. They are really good against air vehicles, but not against ground.
What can they change here just right off the bat? Did you try any jets for the beta?
I literally couldn't because keybinds were broken.
I see.
I wanted.
Oh,
so
I
first
see
of
what you're
all,
saying. Yeah,
heli and jet keybinds were the same. You couldn't have separate. And I tried changing pitch up to spacebar, like all good
Right.
players do. And I'm obviously
Yeah.
not a jet player. I just wanted to have a quick look. And I couldn't change my keybinds. And something bugged out. And to pitch up, there was like it bound mouse 7, I believe. I don't even know what mouse 7 is. And I couldn't remove it. Every time I would get into a pilot seat, I would just crash into the ground and there was nothing I could do. And I couldn't even remove the keybind afterwards without deleting my literal config. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna delete my config again. I'm not gonna put in all the settings for 30 minutes. I'm just gonna avoid air vehicles. That's what I did.
Okay. Damn. Okay, well, we'll have to wait for your opinion on that stuff for when the game releases, because I heard they did change the default key bindings because you couldn't change it back. So we'll see how that is at launch. But anyway, you brought up something really cool, or not really cool, but really daunting is the UI. You sent me a image that was very concerning to me. Here, check it out here. What is this? What is this? The UI, huh?
What is this? This is the result of a AAA company, a $1 billion company, by the way.
So
yeah,
touch upon the
I'm a
different
guy.
things here and what we're looking at. What's going on here?
So yeah, I think that's me inside the Delta tunnels. It's pitch black, so that's the first problem. It's way too dark inside. And it also gives you a really good look at the separate UI elements.
Yeah, so people are
And
blowing up the lights in the tunnel. Is that what's going on there?
I don't even know what it is. I think you can turn off the lights, but maybe
You can
also
turn them off.
EMP.
Oh, I don't-
Maybe there's some.
Pre-flashlight, duh.
Dude, I was running around in there with flashlights. That was actually funny. This is where I actually used the plus system quite effectively, and there's gonna be a video on that.
Yeah, I didn't even know. Was it only specific guns that had the flashlight?
I think the AK had a flashlight.
The AK
maybe
had
the
the
Vector.
flashlight. Okay. Yeah, because
we were like fighting in the tunnel with a friend, and he was like, "Hey, just use your flashlight if you have an AK." And I just opened the plus menu, put on a flashlight, and it actually worked. It was kind of cool. It was more like a horror movie to be quite fair.
Yeah, this is the Delta tunnel. This is the Delta tunnel going underneath the tarmac. Yeah, that's what that is, Mizzy, in chat. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mizzy, that is the tunnel between Delta 1 and Delta 2, actually. Yeah, it's like a budget metro or locker.
Damn, it's gonna be crazy when they have like Irish or Dozer with the shields. That's gonna be pretty crazy there.
There were moments where I would fight in a tunnel or peak. So nade spam was an issue because there were no icons.
No icons.
And would die to all those nades. And once I died, I saw like in the kill cam, there were like 3 Boris guys with turrets, 1 ranger.
Nice.
Holding the tunnel. Yes, even the ranger. And I'm gonna show some footage. Like I will upload some footage of that.
Yes, please.
At one point, there was a ranger coming in with players in a quad bike. A quad bike. That was quite funny.
I thought you couldn't fit through those doors.
I don't even know how he got it in there. Like that's something I have to like research once the game releases.
Yeah, maybe on its site or something. Yeah, I don't know. That's wild.
Yeah.
So let's go through this image here. What parts of it are just jumping at you that this has to go?
So I'm someone that is really passionate about the functionality of the UI, especially after BF4, because it's like a staple or like I don't know, like a standard for good UI design. It's not perfect, but it got like 90% right. They got like 90% right in Battlefield 4. And you can customize so much to your liking. It's just great.
Mm-hmm.
Since Battlefield 1, the UI has been quite downgraded, and this one in particular is not helpful at all, and it's also extremely ugly. And there were many occasions where like hit markers or like the HUD elements, like the revive icons, would prevent me from seeing enemies, and would make playing a lot harder than it really is.
I hope they
And
add
there's also
those
some-
situations there where you can when you can lower those in the background for sure.
Oh, it's gonna be at launch, I guess, or I hope.
Okay, good.
But yeah,
I hope
let's talk about the layout. Okay.
Yeah, the layout.
First issue, kill feed. The kill feed is below the crosshair, so you get names that are like duplicate. Okay, that's an issue.
Yep.
And it stacks. It's not anywhere as satisfying as in Battlefield 4. And also, like, you have the kill feed below the crosshair, and all the score information is on your right. And that's already not very user-friendly because some players like me sit very close to the monitor.
Mm-hmm.
Some people play on an ultra-wide screen.
Right.
So it's really hard to see the stuff on the right.
What part of the score is useful? What do you need to know from the score?
Oh, it's extremely useful because it shows you what weapon or gadget did I use to get a kill. For example, think about placing mines and then you get a kill.
It only says the name, huh?
Now I obviously want to know, did my mine blow up and kill somebody on the other side of the map? Or was it my grenade that I just threw?
Good point.
Did I destroy the vehicle or did I kill the pilot? Or I don't know. Was it a squad wipe? I need to know. Did I just wipe the squad? Yes or no? And in previous games like BF4, I look down and I get all the information with just one look. Now I have to look down, and then I have to do a second look to the right. That takes time. That takes me out of the action. And in those milliseconds, I get killed. That's a problem. Then overall, it's like not satisfying at all. BF4 did it really well. It says like you kill someone, it says enemy killed, and then it says your weapon and the name, and it stacks beautifully. If they would like port that over,
looks like
and adjust one or two things. Tell me the enemy damage. How much damage did I do to the tank? How much damage did I do to the player zone?
One of my biggest issues. I have no idea.
Yeah. And then you have the kill log. On the kill log is above the minimap, just like in Call of Duty. I can see where they're coming from.
Yeah.
But that's gonna cause issues because in Battlefield games, the minimap is very useful. And in Battlefield 4, for example, is often called a minimap simulator because every time you shoot your gun without a suppressor, you appear on the radar. So what good players do or above average players do, most do, I think a lot of players do that, they increase their minimap size to 150, 175, or 200%. And especially us competitive players, we play with massive minimaps that are transparent in Battlefield 4. So think about that. I'm going to increase my minimap size. And then on top of that massive minimap, there's a kill log. Kill log. And then you have the chat on the top left, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So the entire left screen is just cluttered with information and you can barely see. So yeah, that's pretty much, that is everything wrong with the layout.
There were no options to increase the map size, which I was kind of, I thought that would be.
You could barely do anything. It was very prototype-esque, basic. Yeah.
Then you got the tab button. You press tab, and it's just like.
You mean the scoreboard or what?
It's not scoreboard.
That's supposed to be.
Yeah, what it's supposed to be. Yeah, but it's not a scoreboard. It's just like information. Like what? I don't understand there. What's going on there?
It's not a real scoreboard at all. Like you don't see how you rank against other players. I want to know who's on the server. I want to know who's on the other server. I want to know who's playing which vehicle. I want to see the classes. I want to see so many things, and it's all gone now. Visually, it looks disgusting. It doesn't fit with the rest of the art design.
It's very odd.
They have to completely delete it and bring something else.
The only info I look at when I press tab is my kill death ratio. That's on the top right, and then everything else, like I don't care because there's no squad menu or anything. You can see your squad; they're great, but like, cool. Like, who cares?
Yeah, what about the other players and what role are they playing?
What role? Yeah, exactly.
Who's using which vehicle? Are there like hackers on the server? Can I check that out? Like,
so you have to press escape to go to squad and scoreboard. then you hit that button, and then you can see a scoreboard that's not a scoreboard. It's just a name board with that. Yeah, like Hardcore said, they're all alphabetical, which is bizarre, and the AI are kind of spotty in between there. Very, very odd. There's no score, so it's the least toxic scoreboard of all time, and maybe that's how they want it, I guess.
It looks like everyone is a winner nowadays.
Yeah. So you can't accusate, right? You don't know who's hacking or whatever. You don't know who's stacking. You don't know who's the best player or what they're running and stuff like that. There's like no information, so it's very non-toxic. You know what I'm saying? Because there's not even there's no chat either. So I'm not sure.
I guess.
Yeah. What are you thinking? Do you think they'll actually put scores in the scoreboard, or
I hope so. I mean, I don't see why they have to reinvent the wheel once again. Everyone was fine with what we had in BF5 and BF1. They actually did a lot of improvements over there. Yeah, and I would just port the BF5 stuff over and maybe show me on the scoreboard whoever killed me last. That would be nice.
Okay.
Otherwise, just keep it. Maybe show me even like how many players in my team are playing what specialist and vehicle.
That sounds
summary.
Easy. Yeah.
There's like 10 MKs, most likely like 50 MKs. But show me that.
113 or 130 million of those grapple hook shots compared to the Falk pistol. Like, what in the world? There's only 3 million, and most of those are probably just shot at themselves or on the ground.
That's not a good statistic at all. It just shows you how much team play there is left in the game.
Yeah, especially in that beta. I don't know if the other 10 specialists are really gonna make a difference. I think it's just gonna be quite the same. But there's gonna be a lot of experimentation going on, a lot of changes when it comes to like classes and factions and whatnot. So I can see them changing a lot of this UI. I can see them changing a lot of the scoreboard stuff, ranking, progression, like pop-ups and what. All this stuff changes over time. We've seen it before in Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5. Like, this stuff changes a lot. When it comes to like customizing your UI, I feel like they're gonna add that. Any color you want. You have the colorblind stuff is already in there, and those have cool colors that are not bad. You did mention earlier before we started the stream the hit indicators are like super big.
That's not the only. There's even more issues. Like, we just talked about the layout, but there's more issues. Obviously, like the visual look is kind of weird. Like all the colors are too oversaturated. Like the green color, you have way too much glow. Then on top of that glow,
too much glow. Yep.
You have another drop shadow layer with black color, which looks visually really bad, and it doesn't help that much. And then behind every text, there is also like a box that blurs the background. So there's like 3 or 4 filters at the same time, which it looks bad. It doesn't have the visibility, and it takes you out of the game. You're playing the HUD and not the game. And let's talk about the hit markers.
Sure.
Hit markers in the kill feed play a very big role in the satisfaction of a kill. Battlefield 4 did it right. In Battlefield 4 there were no sounds when you headshotted one or killed somebody. But the hit markers were really clean. You could customize them. You could have like really small thin ones, or you could have like big thick ones. You can change the color of them, and they're not overly animated, obviously. And it's obviously all in sync, not delayed. That was nice. But in this game, you get a nice. I think I counted like 9 or 10 different hit markers because there's so much.
Yeah, there's armor hit markers.
Weird crap in the code that they probably ported from the other games. Like there's BF5 hit markers when you use grenades. There's like 3 different hit markers when you hit tanks for no reason at all. For infantry, there's like 4 or 5 different hit markers again. It's just leftover assets, I believe.
Okay.
But let's talk about those hit markers. And unfortunately, I didn't upload the footage yet. There's gonna be a video tomorrow, I hope.
Awesome.
So the default hit markers for Infi, you shoot somebody, there's white hit markers, they're clean, and they're animated. They go out of your way, it's nice. Then you get a headshot hit marker, and it's just 2 hit markers next to each other. That's a lot of clutter, and that looks really ugly. And then you get the third one, which is a massive animated, glowing Overwatch-like
red
monstrosity.
X, big red X, yeah.
Visually bad, gameplay-wise, it's literally sabotage. Because there were moments...
It's eye candy, basically, but
I jump into a room on Delta, I kill the first player, perfect target transfer to the second and third player, and there's another player coming in. And my kill feed is like delayed, so I don't know if I just killed the third guy. And the hit markers are like, the kill hit markers are so big. They're like really bright and there's so much glow. So they're above that player that I just killed. I'm not sure if I killed them. So they drop down and I'm trying to figure out, did I just kill that guy? Is that my hit marker for this kill? And it's like obscuring my screen. And it like, I waste time staying on that other target when I could like target switch already to the next one. So it was literally making me play worse.
Yeah.
And then obviously you had like revive icons everywhere. And
yeah, they're very opaque.
yeah, and something I would do is I would kill a player, and then when I would run over the dead body to get ammunition, I would go prone in the dead body and abuse the visibility. And I know like the people, like the player fighting me, he sees a massive icon above me. So I did abuse that quite a bit.
Oh yeah, I had a really good video here that shows what it's like to here, I'll show it. What it's like to revive. It's quite insane. If you guys can see this here. This guy's trying to revive. There's really not much but the UI telling you that you revived him. Then there's this. He's picking up the other guy's gun constantly.
That happened a lot.
Yeah.
That happened a lot. So you're picking up the gun. The animation for reviving is kind of clunky looking.
It's clunky and slow, yeah.
Slow. You can't do much. What I was hoping for that Falk gets like defibs in BF4 and you would get like a revive speed like, I don't know, with the combat medic perk in BF4. It's like takes like less than a second. And it could have been really nice where you slide in, charge your defibs quick, and you do 100 ref. That could have been really snappy, smooth, fun. But no, instead we got this.
Yeah, then there's that other video of a dude using the paddles. I don't know if I have that on here. Let me see. I think it's this one.
The BF3 stuff where you insta-revive.
Yeah, I don't know when I think it's in the medic class. Let's see if he has that here.
Assault class, definitely. It was Assault class, the first one.
Here
yeah, you passed it already.
Yeah,
it's gonna be the first one, yes.
So he has that here. He's going through like the secondary. And this was like kind of like a leak thing. I don't know when he does pull it out, I believe. I think he's on the roof or something.
Oh, look at that beautiful German rifle.
Yeah. So that's a G3, right?
Yeah. It is German, right? I have to check that. Yeah, okay, never mind. It's German.
It's not? It is?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. I think
the R insides look a bit weird. Like,
yeah, they're kind of
not helpful at all. I hope they fix that.
Okay.
The same for this burst fire gun.
Look at that with the he has 2 medical crates. 2.
Yeah, like in the good old games, yeah. I don't mind that. I actually dislike the really long cooldown in 2042.
Yeah, if you notice on the bottom right of the screen, I think you guys can see this. I'm not sure. He has the defibs as an equipment. Now this is the Battlefield 3 Assault class system. So the class system is still in.
How it should be.
And that's how it should be, right? There's no, you know, you got your secondary and then you got your equipment. So you can have the classic classes that you want. And look at it shine in 2042. This is obviously a bug, but it looks like, there you go. He pulled it out. There you go. The defibrillator. And I believe he goes and he revives somebody, I think, later on. Look how quick that is. Snappy. This is on console too, by the way. This will be available on the Portal system, the gameplay experience, where you can pretty much make servers of BF3, US versus Russian. So here he goes. Boom. That's wonderful. Look at the guy. Like when he got up, he must have been like super surprised.
Yeah, it literally looks like the BF3 revive animation.
And he
Even
has
for the guy on the...
Yeah, he has no revive icon above them when he did that.
But the thing with that is the BF3 revive is a bit too fast. That's why I prefer the BF4 way. Like the BF4 revive,
Right, yeah.
by default is too slow, but once you get the perk, the Combat Medic perk, the revive is perfect. Like if that was default, that's a sweet spot.
Right, exactly.
You don't want to have a medic train where you run over like 4 people and you just revive 4 players in 1 or 2 seconds. That's too strong.
Yeah, especially in the Delta tunnel.
Yeah, imagine that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. And if there's that hit marker right there, like, what did you do? I don't know. I gotta look. You'll see that in a second. But anyway, yeah. I mean, that's promising. A lot of people are saying that Portal is gonna be the savior of Battlefield. What are your thoughts on Portal, real quick, before we wrap things up here?
I hope Portal actually saves the game. I think a lot of us will spend our time over there because it's really hard to fix the specialist system. We talked about that. It's hard to differentiate between them.
Right.
Giving everyone access to all gadgets, all weapons is bad for the weapon balance. It's bad for controlling the chaos in the game. Like, it's really hard to read the game when
I don't think
there's so many different specialists, especially later in the life cycle when you have like 14, 15, 20 specialists, and everyone can, like, all the players can have different gadgets. And something they could have done with that is also, like, if somebody's running an RPG, show it. Just put the RPG on the back of their specialist. Put the gun on the back or something like that when they switch to it. Well, give me an icon below the name that, this guy is using an RPG, this guy is like using a grapple hook. That's a solution.
Yeah, you kind of see the grapple hook thing, sure. And the rocket, it's just because the unique specialist item is taking place of that. Not like, let's say you have a rocket and your Boris. The rocket's not going to show up. His stupid turret gun's going to show up. So which one's more important? Or maybe have both on there somehow. I don't know. But no, it's a good point, and it's been in a lot of other Battlefield games, and it looks like they're going to try to address that. We don't know what's going to be like at launch. But
Portal,
I just hope it works at launch.
I hope it works because DICE does not have a good track record with good functionality for UI and gameplay elements.
Yeah.
And I also fear this might be just RSP with extra steps and remastered maps. And something people shouldn't forget about is all of us, we need a core experience that we all play. If everyone is making their own server with their own rules, there's going to be hardcore, there's going to be competitive, there's going to be BF3 Portal with like the BF3 maps and BF3 soldiers, or maybe with specialists. There's going to be servers that ban the M16, ban shotguns. There's going to be servers that ban vehicles. It's going to be a mess. And in previous games, that was already an issue because there's no clear authority saying this is the core Battlefield experience that everyone plays. We need presets from DICE that are like fine-tuned for the best possible game.
I hope they have that, and there are hints of that in their blog posts that they are doing that, and that they will even port over what's popular in Portal and put in All-Out Warfare as like a special event or something like that, or a limited time game mode has been rumored to happen from a screenshot or something of a media event. So I won't be surprised. But I am very eager to see who wins this battle in terms of what's more popular. Will it be Portal? Will that skyrocket? Or is All-Out Warfare going to be the thing that everyone just goes to? I guess we'll have to wait about that, but I'm very eager about that.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. What else I fear is in previous games, you had to like pay a lot of money to own a server. Now it's gonna be free. Yeah. So there's gonna be a lot of trash out there.
A lot of trash.
And my question is, how do you fill up those servers, and how do you like find the right servers? Like, again, you just said it. We need DICE to have proper presets that we all play, that we all accept and say, yeah, that's the real Battlefield experience, and everything else is just a wacky EOD bot only stuff.
They gotta be up
whatever.
because I understand how All Out Warfare works. Like when the beta came out, like so you press play and it start. If you're the first person to press play on the beta, it's gonna start spooling up a server, right? When that's full, the person who hit the next play will spool up another server if it's full, and so on and so forth. You can't have that on Portal at launch. You gotta have something there already for people to either that are live and are like always up. That would be really great. If there was like, I don't know, No Shark Canals TDM. It's just there. Just join it. Nobody made it. DICE made it. Okay? Just join that there. They need that. If they don't, then what I'm guessing will probably be like is there will be create your server and there's TDM No Shark Canals. You click that and you click launch. Right? But how are you going to fill that super quick? Maybe. Especially at launch, maybe. So we'll see. But I think it'll be way better for them to have that ready to go. I also want to see All Out Warfare, right? Conquest breakthrough mixes with all of the maps. That's 13 maps. That's an insane amount of content at launch, and it's very exciting to see something like that. I can't wait to play those remastered ones.
That's definitely a lot of content to look forward to, which is nice, and also a lot of weapons.
And if we're seeing all these problems already in Orbital on one map, just imagine. I don't even know. I don't want to think about it. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't want to spoil it, but I know a lot of people that have already played the other vanilla maps, and it's not getting It's not getting better. Orbital. Let's say it like this: Orbital is one of the better maps, or if not the best vanilla map.
Interesting.
Yeah, the other ones, I mean, you can see it from the gameplay trailers already.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of cover, and especially Hourglass looks like the biggest nightmare possible. It's a beautiful map. It looks so fun, like I want to play it, but
yeah,
there's dunes everywhere, a stadium, and there's no cover in between. There's nothing. Hundreds of meters with zero cover. You have air vehicles everywhere, and then you have the city with incredibly large skyscrapers, bigger than in any other Battlefield game. Yeah. So there's just verticality, and then you're trying to play the objective. Everyone is just camping on top, sniping from above, throwing C4 from above, using the wingsuit, killing the vehicles from above again. It's not a good experience. That's something you can see from the gameplay already.
Damn, yeah, that kind of shakes me. Just like Flamingo here in chat said, Orbital is the best. Wow. I mean, I was thinking like the smaller ones might be more, when it comes to their cluster zones, would be a little bit more exciting and more unique. Like in Kaleidoscope or something, there would just be like pockets that are all kind of linked together. And that's probably more of what people are looking for instead of the whole downtime traversal part of the experience of playing Conquest. Did you hear anything about Breakthrough, by the way?
We haven't seen shit. But I think Breakthrough is gonna be a better experience because there's like one focus, like there's one front line, and both teams. It's gonna be operations, but in XXL, and there's gonna be a lot of more clashing. It's more streamlined. It's gonna have a better flow, I guess.
Man, that would have been so great if they added that in the open beta. It would have been huge.
Why didn't they? I was hoping for a second map and other game modes.
I talked to developers, and they were like, I wish. I was like, what are they doing over there? I would have been such a stark difference to the Conquest, cluster zone kind of gameplay. People would have been all over it. All over. It would have been nuts.
Or give us like a small scale game mode where we have better performance, where all the infantry players, like the Call of Duty players, Apex players, come over and try like Frontlines, Rush, or something small scale. I mean, there's so much content. It's like they can share it. They can give us more game modes or a second map for the beta, or they can give us even a second beta. Why not? There's more than enough content for launch to satisfy people.
Yeah.
And now they got a really bad impression. Look at all the negativity online.
Yeah. All right. Last topic I wanted to discuss, and then we'll wrap things up here. The audio, footsteps, air vehicle audio. To me, it felt kind of flat and just inconsistent. What did you notice right away?
Yeah, that was like the worst audio mix in a Battlefield game so far. I heard it's not final and they're gonna improve it.
Yeah.
But
What footsteps?
yeah, I had moments where I had like, we're not gonna talk about footsteps. They were not there, okay? You could hear your own ones, but you wouldn't hear enemies. There were moments where 3 or 4 players would like tech sprint at me or fire guns at me, and I wouldn't hear them.
You're
Sometimes guns were completely silent. Like I saw players or helicopters firing the weapons, and it was that silent. Like there was no audio at all.
Mm-hmm.
And when you fire your weapon or when you fly your vehicle, the audio is great. Like
Yeah,
the sound
your
effects
own-
themselves, they're great. They're great. But the mix is weird. It feels like you're underwater. It feels like, I don't know, it feels like you're like drunk. You're kind of lost. And
Okay.
there were moments where I would like be in the middle of a fight where like helis and tanks would fight. And it was like muted. So I switched to war tapes. I dislike war tapes. War tapes is way too loud. And that didn't
okay.
help that much. Audio, disappointing, especially after Battlefield 1. In my opinion, Battlefield 1 had by far the best Battlefield audio. It was
good.
like, the guns felt great. You could hear footsteps. You could hear people running from like 20 meters or 30 meters away. You could like prepare. And Battlefield 1 audio, if we get that, I would be happy. Like I was looking forward, and I hope we get something similar.
Yeah, I could barely hear the tanks in this game. Even Battlefield 1, I had problems with hearing tanks. Actually, even Battlefield 5 too, I couldn't hear anything. There's
Yeah,
something
Battlefield 5 is also iffy. You get like those E-tanks, those from Tesla.
Yeah, I don't understand. But this is what I experienced like in the first few minutes of the beta. Sure, it wasn't a full server, and there was tons of AI, but when I was at the rocket area where it's kind of loud, and there's like it's refueling and stuff like that. There's one enemy next to me, and I clearly heard his footsteps. It was really nice to hear, but this was super early in the beta where it just released, and a lot of people in the chat were like, "This is a honeymoon stage here, Julian. Like you're not." Sure, it sounds great right now, but wait till everyone hops in. And sure enough, all that kind of just disappeared. It was very inconsistent. I usually only heard my own footsteps. And when I had McKay's coming at me with grapple hooks, I didn't hear nothing. Like, they're just right on top of me, and I was dead.
Landing with parachutes didn't make any sound at all.
Parachutes are gone. Like, no audio.
Nothing. You're sitting on a roof, McKay drops in front of your eyes and doesn't make a fucking sound. Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was excited. I had some people here that are watching, were there when I first started. I was like, oh my God, this is great. I can hear foots. I was so excited. Because in Battlefield 5 beta, like, I heard nothing. The audio was so terrible in that. And, it was just, it was great. When I heard it in 2042 for the first time, I was like, holy shit. But, it was gone the next few minutes after that. It was just gone. It was sad. I was sad, but yeah. What about the headshot kill sound? Do you like that? A little bit more satisfying, or? I mean, you're Battlefield 4
personally,
player,
I don't need the sounds, but if you get something satisfying, I'm happy with that. It was quite similar to Battlefield 1. I don't know. Could be improved. I don't care that much about it. It was alright. I hope for a more digital, less obnoxious sound effect. That would be nice.
Lots of digital farting going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the modern theme.
We covered quite a bit here, Nickel. Were there any other questions or topics you wanted to talk about, or maybe you could wait?
Let's take a look at chat. Somebody asked, what was it? Nickel, how much FPS you got in the beta? Yeah, the performance was, everyone had atrocious performance. So for this game specifically, I was preparing as a content creator. I wanted to go all out in, and I paid like $3,600 for a new PC. Like I got the best PC possible, pretty much.
Nice.
And yeah, I got it for the beta, and I got like 80 to 90, sometimes 120 FPS on 1080p low settings, and it would dip down below 60 all the time. So it was really inconsistent. And the interesting thing is, people with older systems that were like 4 years old or 5 years old had roughly the same performance like me. And I'm not the only one. Anders had the same issue, and people with a similar rig, again, we had really bad performance. Like it didn't feel like they optimized the game for high-end PCs. Yeah.
Hopefully they'll get that data, coming in with the beta information. They usually take that and optimize it. Sometimes it takes a couple patches, but I think it'll be okay coming on in to the launch of the game.
As long as I get enough FPS with DLSS and
there's that
64 players or small scale modes.
Yeah.
If I get 200, 300 and smaller scale modes, I'd be happy. I'd be super happy.
Ooh, 40
I don't
FPS?
care about this. I don't care about this 128 player gimmick.
Yeah. Okay, any other Witch Footsteps, right? Yeah. It was earlier on, that's why I heard them, and then they went away. Any other questions in chat for me or Nickel? Now's the time. We're about to wrap things up here. Thank you guys again for all the followers, and if you want to see more content like this, definitely follow this channel. I'll be doing more of these Battlefield shows every week once the game comes out. I'll probably pause here for a couple weeks until we get more information and go on from there. But I am planning to do more of these and inviting new guests on every week. So be sure to follow the channel here. Let's see. Hit marker. Yeah, it was an older build. People are saying. I don't think that's something I even care about. It's like, hey.
Yeah, officially it was 2 months old. In reality, it was like 4 weeks old, I think. Yeah, it's a bit weird to give us such a clunky mess that, like, fundamentally, the performance was bad, mouse input was broken, controllers were broken, mouse and keyboard input would disconnect.
Yeah.
What a fucking mess. That's not something you show the public. Holy fuck. Dice.
Yeah, and anyway, there's a lot of things I was just missing straight up. I don't know if it had to do with the delay or some sort of critical issue happened where they just went silent for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Something terrible happened because they were on a roll when it comes to marketing and stuff, and then just gone.
Yeah, that's in the chat. Like, that's correct. 2 months old build sounds like damage control. It absolutely is. That is damage control.
Yeah, that's what I think. Absolutely.
And the build, like, it got delayed. Like, the beta should have been on September 22nd, I believe. And the surprising thing is, if you go into, like, if you start data mining and check out all the stuff, you will see that the build was compiled on September 20th. Which means they didn't do any hot fixes or changes to what happened behind the scenes before it got delayed. I mean,
yeah, I'm still kind of curious. I mean, that kind of messed up the whole marketing aspect of the game, and everything got pushed back. And the delay, it's something I bet you they never wanted to happen at all. Especially what happened with the delay in Battlefield 5. And then the disastrous launch in Battlefield 5 was just so unfinished. All the features were gone. There's no co-op. There's no battle royale. There's a whole bunch of things they had ready for launch and nothing, you know?
What I fear is it's gonna be the same once again.
Hazard Zone, not gonna be a launch, you think?
No, I'm just gonna say it. The release build is already done, so the game is done. It's gonna release next month. But
so they're gonna go gold pretty quick then,
yeah, I think the console version is like getting verified right now or something like that. There's gonna be a lot of day 1 patches, day 7 patches. They're gonna be huge.
Hell yeah, let's go, baby.
Yeah. DICE has a terrible track record with Battlefield releases.
Yeah.
And with this new team and with all those vets that left, I don't see why I should trust them. I don't see why they should suddenly do a 180. And it's gonna be super polished and fun and great at launch. It's gonna be another BF4, and I'm really disappointed at DICE. I'm just disappointed because they got another extra year. This game was in pre-production since 2015 or something like that.
Ooh.
And they got the guys from Need for Speed, they got the guys from Battlefront, they got the guys from Battlefield 5, and it's still this messy. And even if they fix all those technical issues that we have, the core gameplay is kind of fucked. Vehicles, HUD and UI.
It's a lot of work.
The
stuff we
maps
talked
are
about.
massive. They don't have flow. Gunplay is okay.
by
And the only
design, there's no flow.
Yeah,
It's-
by design, they decided let's not have any flow in a casual arcade FPS game. I don't mind them doing like a few big maps, like, oh, we made the biggest Battlefield map of all time. It's Orbital. It's bigger than Hamada and Al Sundan or whatever. Sure, okay. But Orbital is like the third smallest map. It's a medium-sized map. The rest is gonna be... And here's what I don't understand. Like, okay, they doubled the player count. Okay, cool. What do? Well, you double the map size. But they didn't. They quadrupled the map size for some reason.
I don't know, man. They said it was a challenge. Hey, and
Yeah.
how do you expect not being criticized by that? I don't know. They just need to explain it more. And, we saw that clip of Daniel Berlin trying to explain the pacing and everything. It's just, I don't feel it's going to be popular. I don't think people are going to like that. Especially, like you said, like they're taking people from Apex and Call of Duty. There's a lot of Call of Duty stuff. Like, I mean, look at the armor. Putting the armor into the slot. That's like
It
almost
feels
exactly
like playing
like a Warzone
mixture.
kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I was playing Falk with armor plates 24/7. I would like tag sprint, side cancel, and do all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Even the bunny ops. I don't mind that. Was
Yeah, I
fine.
don't
I mean,
mind.
at least they took some of the good stuff. Also, a lot of bad stuff, unfortunately, that doesn't fit the Battlefield franchise.
Yeah. Example of one thing.
Bad.
Yeah, bad.
Yeah, obviously the operator system. It
The special
doesn't
thing.
work.
Yeah.
You need to
I'm very
lock
curious
the
about
gadgets
that.
behind.
I
You
wonder
need
if they're
to
going to
lock-
listen to the feedback on that and just totally redesign the specialist system.
If they would completely redesign the specialist system, that would be nice, but that would take some balls.
Yeah.
And like the leadership would have to like make an announcement and say, hey, we fucked up. We're gonna backpedal. We're gonna bring back classes. We will try to fit in specialists, all those specialists into like 4 categories. We locked our gadgets. We locked our weapons.
Okay.
Yeah, like give the DMRs and the snipers to the recon, and
True.
everyone else can just play all guns except DMRs and snipers. That would be fine. There's still a lot of overlap, so this complaint from the other games. Oh, I hate playing BF1 and BF5. I feel so restricted. I have to play SMG, but I want to play something else. In a modern game, there's more than enough weapon options, and we should have gotten a proper gunsmith, and I hope we get a gunsmith where we can like convert our gun into something crazier. So in case weapons get locked behind classes, you could still get a DMR by taking your assault rifle and converting it into a poor man's or a wannabe
right.
shitty DMR. Like convert it. Don't make it as good as actual DMRs from the recon.
Yeah.
Have it like in between. So if you want to change your playstyle, I mean.
So, yeah. Okay, we had the open beta. It was heavily criticized. A lot of people seem to have fun. There's some good movement, and gunplay was sometimes
movement.
Yeah. There's also all the movement stuff. I don't know. Did you want to talk about movement a little bit, or?
I mean, that's my expertise, I guess. And by far the best thing about this game, by far, is the movement.
Yeah.
Because it's being made by dice devs that I trust that were like themselves pro players in the past.
Okay.
That movement, like this, it's a hot topic lately.
Yeah.
I see Reddit is quite mad about it, and I think a lot of people are like misinterpreting things that developers said. Yes, it was a bit clunky in the beta.
You're talking about the sliding, right? The sliding.
Just overall, weapon switching was too slow. There were bugs where you could like bunny hop across the entire map with the grapple hook. That's gonna get fixed, obviously.
Yeah.
If you would like slide into a wall, you would bounce off back out of cover. Yeah, that was an issue.
Okay.
I mean, all of that is already fixed. I gave a lot of feedback, and most of that stuff is already public anyways on Twitter and Reddit.
Cool.
I think the tech sprint was also nerfed. So still the same speed, but something I saw with friends was if you tech sprint and you zigzag, you become unhittable. Like there was something wrong with the fine tuning of that system. That's getting adjusted, so movement is good, and people cry about sliding all day. Yeah. But it's already really toned down in comparison to Battlefield 5. In Battlefield 5, you can like slide and change directions in your slide. In this game, you have to commit to your slide. Yes, you can turn around, but you cannot like slide to the left or to the right. So you commit.
Oh, yes. I noticed that.
That's something they changed, which is nice.
Yeah.
Still felt good. You can slide cancel. You can slide cancel once, and that's it. If you slide cancel a second time, you're getting stuck. You can't do shit. That's amazing. So they addressed that. People just ignored that. And also, if you try sliding up a hill, you also get stuck. It doesn't work at all. If anything, the movement needs a buff in some aspects. And there's gonna be some fine-tuning. You're gonna see it at launch or after launch.
Strafing speeds.
That's a good topic. I forgot. Strafing speed is fucked in the game. So basically,
oh no,
when you zoom with your gun in,
yeah,
you get 40% of the strafing speed from your hipfire, which is way too slow. You cannot like zoom in and go around the corner because the enemy will see you coming around the corner. It's too slow. Oh. And in previous games, we had like 50%. And in Call of Duty, you have like 60, 70, 80. And I'm fine with a slower system. But 40% is way too slow. And here's the fucked up part. McKay keeps 100%.
Yeah.
McKay has in hipfire and ADS the same speed, which is horribly overpowered and broken and has to be changed. DICE is aware of this. I hope they do something. Imagine playing on American servers where people have often like 60, 70 ping, and this guy teleports around the fucking he teleports out of cover, kills you, and goes back. That's gonna be obnoxious. That's way too fast. That doesn't fit, especially in relation to normal specialists.
Right.
Has to be increased to like 50%.
It's a unique
for McKay,
trait.
I don't know.
Yeah, unique trait to him.
Yeah, I don't mind him being faster. Like give him 75 or 60%, but not 100. That's broken. Your strafing speed is bad, and
doesn't he get a boost on zip lines as well? He gets some sort of a.
I think so. Yes, I didn't notice because I was playing Falk mainly. Falk with an AK-24. I also got like really tired of the M5 because it had no recoil. It was a very boring gun.
Yeah.
So yeah, he does get a boost on ziplines. I'm not sure how much. Was not a problem that I encountered.
I'm glad that they're addressing these issues, though. What was the other issue you want to bring up?
So we had strafing speed, bouncing off walls. That was an issue. Tech sprinting and zigzagging was too fast. When you like run or tech sprint over holes in the ground that you can create with grenades or explosives, your character is like bumping up and down. That looks not nice. That looks kind of cancer. Crouching looks weird. You're doing like this one slav squat all the time. I think that's getting reworked.
What do you think about the crouch running that they got rid of? Care about that or not?
There was a Reddit post that showed like not 5, 3 or 4 Battlefield 5 movement mechanics that were removed.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with this. So with crouched running was overpowered because you were running at almost the same speed as you would normally, but you keep a low profile. So that's an issue. Then you had going prone on your back, which was not good for visibility in gameplay because people would abuse that and you wouldn't be sure if that's a dead player or a player that's like
True.
prone on his back.
One of the
So
biggest
people would abuse
problems.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah. There's also no weapon leaning. You cannot lean manually, which is okay for a Battlefield game because simply of its scale. It's not R6.
Right.
And the main reason why they did that is, I think, to protect console players. There's not enough keybinds on PC, first of all, I think. And on console, you're also like running out of options. You like in BF5, leaning was like optional. It was like on plus and minus, I think. So you would have to like bind that stuff manually.
Right.
And most players would never use it or see it. And it would like crouched running would also like interfere with sliding because it's also on the same key. So if you keep adding all those movement mechanics, so many, now with Taxment as well and so on, a controller can't handle this. And even on keyboard, we're getting like, it's getting really busy. And at some point, it's not accessible anymore.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, there you go. All right. I think it's a good time to wrap this up here. I know it's pretty late over there in Germany. And I got to go eat some food because this is way past lunchtime over here. Anyway, again, final thoughts on the beta. I thought there was a lot of fun aspects of it, but it was very messy. There's a lot of work to be done. It looks like they have... I'm very optimistic about it because of all the issues we brought up are being tackled in some way.
More or less.
And we don't know if they'll execute, but hearing things from Hazard Zone, we haven't seen nothing. It's just going to be a crazy mess at launch, and they're going to go from there. That's just the way it is. It looks like they're going to go gold soon. So
I mean, it's not even free to play.
And it's not free to play either. So November 12th, I believe, is the early access for the launch title. And then November 19th is the full game release. So that'll probably be the next time we chat about this game. Nickel, so glad to have you on. Thank you for coming by. And, man, I learned quite a bit today. So thank you for coming, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I had a wonderful time. It was really fun to like speak my mind, to explain some stuff. It was much more fun than expected. Great.
Awesome. And thank you, chat, for dropping by. Appreciate all the followers. We're going to be doing this again closer to launch. And we'll be talking all about this. I'll be bringing on some amazing guests. And maybe we'll have Nickel back on once again, because sometimes I do these round tables, and that's when it gets really serious. Okay.
I would love to. There's definitely, that's something we can do.
I had 2 of them in Battlefield 5. We're at 9 people, including or 10 people, including me.
Okay,
talk about
maybe
Battlefield
that's
5.
too much.
It was nuts. It was absolutely nuts and incredible. But anyway, guys, if you want to see this episode and you missed it, it will be live on YouTube, on my YouTube shortly, right after we're done, and on put links on Twitter and whatnot. Of course, you can follow Nickel here on YouTube. He'll be posting a video here tomorrow or today.
I think so, yeah. I have some highlights cut together. Like, dude, I played 30 hours and I recorded full gameplays and had to go through all the footage.
Ooh-wee.
That took some time, and I got like 20 minutes of, it's actually 60 minutes, but I cut it down to 20. Let's see what I'm gonna post.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm gonna share some early impressions, but I talked for more than 2 hours already here. Not sure if I can do that in a video.
Hey, this is the podcast format, you just let it all out. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. And you can follow Nickel on the YouTube, Twitter, and what about Twitch? You have a Twitch up, but I don't see nothing going on there.
Yeah, it's set up. I've been
baby.
planning on streaming for quite a while now. The thing with BF4 is, in the past few years, it was pretty much impossible to stream because of DDoSing and
Yes.
so on. Now
Yes.
it works. But if you're, like, let's say, a better player, there's not many servers you can play on. And before the reveal of this game, there was literally just one locker server in Europe where I could play on. That
Yeah,
was
yeah.
400 tickets, tryhard server, only TDM. And that's the only experience I had. I could stream that, but nowadays the server is like often empty. And I tried actually streaming like a few weeks ago already, but there was no server for me to play on. And I would have, like, it was not filling up, so I joined the server. I was waiting. There were like 12 players, 13 players, 14 players. At some point I just got tired, and I was like, yeah, let's see, maybe the game gets will be free again sometime later or something like that. I saw a lot of new players coming back again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have problems finding a server. I have so many accounts. I have 5 or 6. And you just keep getting kicked by KPM kickers, KD kickers, accuracy kickers. It's not fun.
It doesn't look like the Milsim Boomer tag is working very well. Milsim
No,
Boomer.
I've been playing now for a year on my official account, and I got even my real name after a long fight. Yeah, I will definitely be streaming like this month, maybe next week or in 2 weeks, leading up to 2042.
That's awesome, man. I'm looking forward to that.
Let's see how the next game is. I would love to do that properly, like every day, like
Hell yeah.
my friends do. I know there's a lot of demand. It's crazy, like the amount of people messaging me and saying, hey, I'm a big content creator, I can boost you, it's gonna be great.
Well, your Twitch
Thanks.
is up. Go follow it, guys.
Yeah.
The link is right there, !guests, or guest, and you get the link straight there to his Twitch. I'm already following, dude, so I'm looking forward to it.
Look at all those followers without me ever streaming. It's kind of funny, to be honest.
Yeah, you had like 2,000 or something. So
yeah,
really
I'm about to hit 2,000 and then never streamed.
That's
I had
awesome.
like private stream sessions with friends, but that's it.
It's going to be a great debut. Trust me. I think people are going to really enjoy your content. I loved your YouTube videos. A lot of your Battlefield 5 ones were great. So I'm looking forward to it. We'll see. All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, we'll be doing another one soon. And hopefully the release will be somewhat stable and we can talk about it. Okay, and have some fun with the new Battlefield title. Okay, everybody, have a good night. Take it easy. Nickel, we'll say our goodbyes on the other end. Okay, bye-bye.
See ya. Thanks for having me. That was great.